What up, doggies? Jack Haze here, and I'm here with part 3 on my series of replacing my camera system with the Eufy home security system. Today, I will be replacing 3 indoor cameras. These are the latest indoor cameras made by Eufy. They're Apple HomeKit compatible. I do believe you have to perform a firmware update before you can connect this to the Eufy Homebase 3. These cameras can store video on a local SD card, or they can connect to the Eufy Homebase 3 device, which I have, which will store your videos locally. These cameras have pan, zoom, and tilt, and they can be placed on a counter, or they can be mounted to the wall or upside down on a ceiling. They communicate with the Homebase using Wi-Fi, and those videos are stored locally. They aren't stored to anywhere in the cloud. That is one of the advantages of the Eufy system. There is no subscription fee because there's no cloud storage being used. Everything is stored locally and served locally. I'm replacing my Arlo system because it's a little bit old. Things aren't working as plug and play as they used to. A couple of the cameras have been dying, especially the outdoor ones. So let's go ahead and continue with the unboxing process and the setup of this unit. So here's the USB cable, here's the cable charger. Here's the mounting bracket that goes on the wall or ceiling. Here are some screws and some masonry anchors. I have some drywall anchors that I'm going to be using. And this is the camera itself. Let's take off the protective film. So if you want to see how this mount works, it would go this way, the flat side on top against your wall. It's countersunk for the screws, and then that would slip in here and you just twist it on. But we're not going to be using it right now. So let's add the wired camera, indoor cam pan and tilt. We have to scan the QR code. And now we enter setup mode by pressing the button on the back of the device and press the button to start.
Connecting to the Wi-Fi network. Please wait. Setup was successful.
And we're going to call this kids room nursery. We're going to skip the micro SD card step because we're going to perform the firmware update so we can connect it to the Eufy Homebase. And this does take 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop recording at this moment. So here is my installation of the indoor camera in my kitchen. And here's what it looks like in the app. You can see it following me around the room. That is all happening automatically. It's a little bit jittery. And this is what the video looks like when you look at it raw. Again, the camera follows me around the room. It's a little bit jerky, but it stays focused on me pretty well. And here's what it looks like with the night vision. Again, following me around the room. And here it is in my nursery, my kids' room. Quite a bit messy, but you get the point. So I've already installed 2 Eufy indoor cameras, and I'm going to install the third one. This one is most likely going to go in my garage for now. I may change it later, but for now I would like some surveillance in the garage in case someone breaks in through the back door, or if I leave my garage door open for a while and someone just walks in from the front. I actually already have a smart garage door made by Chamberlain. It interacts with the MyQ app, and I get a notification if it's open for over 30 minutes. But this is just additional peace of mind. I already have a current Arlo camera in there right now, and I do use it quite often. So I think this is going to be a good addition in there. I actually don't know where the best place to mount it is going to be because I have a lot of things hanging from the ceiling of my garage. So if I mount it too high, it's going to be partially obstructed. I may be able to hang it upside down, hang it from some rafters I have in the garage. That might probably be the best place for it. So let's go ahead with the setup and installation of this device. And here's the installation of my garage camera. This is following me around the garage pretty well.
What up, donkeys? Jack Haze here, and I have just installed this camera mounted upside down on a wooden shelf in my garage. It will probably be mounted a little bit higher, something with less access for a possible intruder. Right now they could just rip it off, unplug it, do whatever. But this is just temporary, but it's very functional, serves its main purpose. So I'm going to keep it here for a while and see how it goes.
And this is what it looks like in the app. You can pan and tilt. There are some limitations to how far down you can go and how far up you can go, but it has pretty good range of motion and it's quite responsive.
So far I'm very happy with the Eufy Indoor Pan and Tilt cameras. They were very easy to install. They were very easy to connect to my Homebase. I really like the pan and tilt functionality of the cameras. I do like the motion tracking. I think that was kind of an unexpected surprise. I am disappointed by the fact that it can't be used with HomeKit when it's paired to the Homebase. So with regards to the HomeKit functionality, I'm very disappointed, but it's not a major loss. And when I first decided to try out Eufy, I knew I was going to wait until I installed the outdoor cameras, the doorbell cameras, and the indoor cameras before making a decision. I wasn't sure if I was going to stay with Eufy or go back to Arlo, but at this point, I'm pretty committed to Eufy and I'm very happy with it so far. The solar cameras, the doorbell camera, and the indoor cameras, I think I'm going to keep them and I'm going to throw out all of my Arlo stuff. On a scale of 1 to 5 stars, I think I'd give Eufy about 4.5 stars. Some of the things I like about it, obviously having no service fee is a big plus. Having everything stored locally is a big plus. The ease of installation, the quality of the video, the response time needed to start a stream with one of the cameras is very fast. Everything seems to integrate in the app very well, and it seems to do most of what I needed to do. Some of the cons, some of the minuses is that I didn't like the customer service. It was hard to get customer service to give me a good response. Their customer service didn't seem to know what they were doing. I figured out most of it by myself. Another big con is that it doesn't integrate with any of the third-party services such as IFTTT, SmartThings. The integration with HomeKit was lacking as well. Another shortcoming is that the indoor cameras only seem to connect over 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. I had a problem with those cameras staying connected until I segmented my 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi into its own SSID. One thing that I didn't like about it that Arlo had is that Arlo had its own kind of proprietary communication protocol. Arlo had its own communication protocol that was different than Wi-Fi, so your devices didn't necessarily take up an IP address. I feel like these cameras being on the Wi-Fi network makes them vulnerable, but I do really like these cameras. They're very responsive, they're very quick. I do wish some of the cameras, especially the outdoor cameras, had more of a wide angle lens effect. I feel like the outdoor cameras have a narrow field of view. The doorbell I think is great, it's really responsive. The dual camera is pretty awesome. And just overall, everything seemed to work well together, including the app. So once again, the Eufy home camera system altogether is very excellent. I highly recommend it, and it's a great alternative to Ring and Arlo and the other camera services that you have to pay a monthly subscription fee for. And Eufy being free is an incredible plus. If you enjoyed this content, remember to like and subscribe. If you enjoy gambling and math videos, check out my other YouTube channel, JackAce.com. And until the next video, peace out, donkeys.